got a tip that there's a pumpkin patch down this way that we can stay at. So we're gonna see what that's about. However, it looks so silly out there. It looks so tiny. Got some cornfields, the little barn. I'm gonna go check out, they have a little farm store, see if I can find something to buy as a thank you for letting us stay here. For dinner, we are having massive broccoli with the side of orzo. Pesto orzo. I have no concerns about sleeping tonight. We are alone in a field surrounded by pumpkins. And my only concern was that it was raining a little bit and it's supposed to pour tomorrow. And I was concerned about sinking. But I talked to the farmer and I mentioned my concern and he was like, no, you don't need to worry about that. He knows the soil, he knows the land, and he was explaining to me why we will be fine. So I trust him. This is terrible, but it has to wait till the morning. I am dead and ready for bed. I'm gonna leave this sink full of dishes for the morning, so I will wake up promptly with regret and mad at myself for not having done it tonight. I will face this challenge head on in the morning. Good night for now. Today has been a doozy. It is, I don't know, 7 p.m. All began in the middle of the night. Robbie kept needing to go outside. Like you can hear his belly gurgling and he just needed to go out and eat grass. But it was pouring. This happened multiple times. And it wasn't just like a quick let him out to go to the bathroom and come back in. It was grazing like a goat. So that kind of, you know, we started off pretty low energy today, little rough, a little hard to get going. Biggest kicker for me, and I know it might sound silly, but I was editing and trying to upload my last YouTube video. It took me like hours. I know it sounds silly to be like, YouTube's so hard, but it wasn't about that. It was about like spending days filming and editing, trying to wrap it up, and then it being held hostage basically within an app. I had to pretty much undo some editing so the app wouldn't crash. There was a point where I thought it just wasn't going to be able to use it. 8 hours later, I was finally able to get it uploaded. I digress. I know in the grand scheme of things, it's kind of like down here. Still, it was quite frustrating. But we are still in the pumpkin patch and it's still lovely. We got like a whole bunch of space to ourselves. We were supposed to go to I'm not saying it right, Taughannock. That's not right. Tomorrow, that's the plan. Another waterfall. Then we gotta move on. Next destination, unknown. I don't know, that's a siren, but I think I'm gonna actually take some photos. Maybe we'll get a nice sunset. I really like photography and I've really been neglecting it, so I'm really trying to pick up my camera more often. All I got is cornfield, so hoping for a good sunset. Looking so good, bud. Excited because we are actually somewhere where we can use the long leash for the dog. I have a 30-foot and a 50-foot. However, the grass is like stiff, like it almost feels like you're walking on sticks, and they don't really like it too much. You see that pretty sunset coming in? Getting some cotton candy skies. There's my boy. See how slow he's walking. Go get it. Bring it here. Oh, little prance. Good boy. We love a foggy morning. I'm wondering if we'll get a good view of the falls with this fog. Just made it to the Taughannock Falls overlook, which I was definitely saying wrong, but a local just said it, so it's Tahanic. Right now we're just at the overlook, which is just a short walk. Planning on hitting the North Rim Trail. Assuming schedule-wise that works out. Alright, there it is, Taughannock Falls. I am gonna go down there and try and get a closer look. popped out of bed this morning because I looked out the window and it was prime condition for some moody photos, and I couldn't pass up that opportunity. So I got early start, kind of nice. And it's a cheese and cracker kind of lunch because resources are running low. We need to have an overall chore day. Laundry needs to be done. Probably due for some tank refills and emptying. So stay tuned for that. That excitement is going to be coming up. But I'll be able to show you exactly what a full chore day looks like and just exactly how long it takes us to do all that stuff. And money, how much it costs. I just popped out real quick to take a peek at the Taughannock Falls overlook. Ithaca Falls probably remains the most stunning on this trip. They'll have more along the way, I think. We're gonna be swinging by Buffalo, perhaps Rochester. I don't know, we're just kind of figuring out our route along the way. And tonight's camp spot is, well, there's one wild camping that we want to check out if we can get there before dark. We don't want another one of those situations. And if that doesn't work out, I'm not sure what plan B would be. We just had a call with the van builders and it's really exciting because we got to see, you know, like nothing's installed, but we got to see like the counter against the tile with the cabinet color. Like, I don't know, I was just able to envision things a little more. So that's exciting. They still are 2 months out, but it's definitely coming together, and it was enough to like get me excited again. This wasn't the initial trail that I was planning on, but the other one had some dogs blocking the way. Doing a little side quest. Oh, I see the dogs. Can't see them right now, but there's 2 golden retrievers, I believe, and an older couple walking them, but I really am not sure. They are blocking the trail very frequently, so I'm having to just stop and stand still and wait for a couple minutes for them to start moving again. This might just be a short sniffy walk. Part of the stress of having reactive dogs.
Got an old timer, huh?
Yeah, this is a short one, a little over a mile. See, we got Robbie back here, Atticus up here, trying to keep them in sync. Atticus is pulling really hard, and normally he doesn't do that. He normally is like a good little walker until we pass some dogs, but I think he's picking up the scent of them or someone, and it's making him whatever this is. So yeah, I'm having to really hold him back while trying not to drag Robbie too much. The dog walk was not a huge success. Atticus is just not fit for public today, and Robbie just stopped and started to turn around and wanted to go back. So I got halfway through it, so I relocated to a different trail, flat paved, but I see a waterfall right there, and I think it goes to the bottom of the big falls that I saw earlier. So I would like that new POV. A review said the trail's a little boring. We're going in open-minded. How can it be boring when it ends in a waterfall? I brought a book. I'm hoping for at least like a few minutes of peace down by the water by myself. Just be out of the van for a little bit. So easy to get stuck inside the van. Comfy, and there's like a mental peace that makes you think you're outside and kind of being active, but really you're just kind of laying in bed. So I wanted to get out, fresh air. Let's see what we got. Let's see if I can try and get a different angle. Maybe go up top. It's nice though. What is it about waterfalls that just is like so cool? It's, oh, I see a heron. I'm walking. Oh, get a different angle here. There we go. Very nice. So this is the floor of the gorge. And it's limestone. It's allowed, so we're gonna go. Kind of cool. And all the acidic, the acid from the rains created these little divots. That's pretty neat. some reason it's reminding me of Death Valley. Feels good in the shade. Quiet on this trail. Past people in the beginning, but I haven't seen anyone in a while. Oh, can you see the falcons swirling? Cool falcons. Hard to capture, but these greens are so vibrant. Those are the falcons we just saw. Peregrine. Okay, we're coming up at the bottom, or I guess this is the closest we'll be able to get to the bottom of the falls. Wow. Still really cool. I think it's the highest waterfall east of the Rockies. It is really high. I would love to see it when it's at its full capacity in all its glory. Here we are, we're just hanging out in the bottom of a gorge. Wonder if the textures are coming through in the video. I don't know if you heard that boom, but a tree just fell down that slope. Can't believe how loud it was. Tallest falls east of the Rockies. That's the tree that just fell from all the way up there. It's such a loud boom. I didn't end up reading any of my book. It just didn't feel like the right place to sit for a while. I found a nice big rock that I'm actually going to do my manifestation challenge. It's day 10 of my 10-day challenge, so I'm expecting all these things any minute now. But I'm glad I stuck with it. I feel like that was the reset I needed. We got to figure out some dinner and next camp spot. And the age-old question of where we're going to sleep. The spot picked out for tonight, it's a different one than I was originally thinking. It's a little closer to where we are, and I think a little more accessible. And we're gonna head there now, so we don't risk getting there when it's too dark. I don't know what that person was talking about being boring. I mean, yeah, it's flat, it's wide, it's gravelly. You know, there's no like impressive overlooks, but I mean, we're surrounded by these beautiful trees. We got that cool stuff at the bottom of a gorge, tallest waterfall, falcons. I mean, what more can you ask for? That's what Bryan spotted. I shall not be caught low on gas again. Low bridge, we're 10 feet. That's 11.5.
Lowest bridge yet.
Protected by video surveillance. Thanks no hideout, unless somebody's watching cameras. We relocated to a free spot, and I really like this place. It's a boat access ramp, so you got a nice lake. We're not really visible from the street, and there's no signs about no overnight parking or anything about parking. Got a little pavilion, porta pot, and got a little swing. I like it. It's starting to rain, so it's good we're on some pavement. Don't have to worry about anything there. I like this spot. It is a gloriously dreary evening. It's dark, it's drizzling. You can hear the rain on the roof. And I think this calls for my first hot chocolate of the season. And we're gonna pretend I didn't eat that ice cream sandwich a little while ago. It was a mini, doesn't count. I normally have some kind of fancy hot chocolate on hand that I buy from a little local shop because I can't pass up some kind of small batch gourmet hot chocolate. But today, a little cinnamon, I guess a lot of cinnamon, and a dash of cayenne. I like spicy chocolate. See if I can pour it without making a mess. Look at that. Never doubted it. I had a list of things I wanted to do tonight because I felt like I was not very productive during the day, but it might be the rain or maybe it's the hot chocolate, but I think I'm just gonna lay in bed, read a book before we take the dogs out for their final potty break. Today feels like it flew by, but also when I think back to the morning, that feels like it was last week. There's a lot of good moments today, like waking up in the foggy field. That was probably my favorite part of the day, dogs roaming around. It's so nice to be able to let them just wander. They don't go far, they're too obsessed with us. I saw two waterfalls, but I saw one from two different POVs, so feels like two. Nice walk in the woods, took some photos, talked to the van builder. That's cool. What else? We had a good dinner. It was another breakfast for dinner, which are always a hit. And now we have a nice safe spot to sleep. Perfect. This is where we woke up this morning. It's real pretty. No. I slept like a baby last night. Slept like a baby. I was exhausted, so that was part of it, but I don't know, I think I just felt really safe here as far as like not being bothered, and that always helps. Oh, they have a pollinator garden, a little birdhouse. Hoping it dries up because I would love to do some yoga and maybe tie the dogs up out there for a bit on their long leashes. Do some work under the pavilion. It's all set to have coffee on this swing here, but it rained a lot last night. It kind of looks dry. Maybe that cover kept it dry. It'd be nice to just sit here and look at the water though. There I am. We had this place all to ourselves last night. I think the rain kept people away because some cars did drive in as we were eating dinner, but they didn't stay long. You could tell they take care of this place because if this were in Baltimore, there'd be trash everywhere. We'll be spending most of the day here, if not all of the work day. We will need to run into town, get some groceries, and maybe a few other necessities. We really need a laundry day, very badly, but I think we'll just save that until the weekend and do a big, huge chore day. But it looks like we'll be sleeping here again tonight. We're not gonna hang out here all day and then just sleep. We're gonna leave for a bit and come back. Like, how awesome is this? How lucky am I? I'm sitting here right now on a weekday. Like, it's starting to drizzle. It's drizzling, but I'm covered. I got coffee, I got this water, and I'm just watching the raindrops fall. I never ever would have seen this place if I didn't live in my van. I can't even remember the name of, where am I actually, now that I think about it. Let's find out. It's so weird to just not know where you're at. Okay, I'm near the National Soaring Museum in Harris Hill Overlook. I'm trying to figure out this is the Chemung River. Chemung? Chemung River. The big flats hiking trails nearby. Corning? I think I'm in Corning, New York. Less than 3 hours to Niagara. That was not the final destination, because there never really is a final destination, but you usually have like your intermediate goals, and then you have like a main goal, and then that whole cycle starts over again. So the next main goal was Niagara. 2 hours, 47 minutes from there, and that's if we swing by Buffalo. So every time you move, you have to plan for an additional like 3 hours on top of the driving that you're doing. I mean, I'm sure other people might have the system down a little more, but I had some work I needed to get done yesterday, and all we did was relocate like 20 minutes down the road. And just by that short relocation, it ate up like a few hours of my work day. Put away everything for you to drive, and then you gotta do the driving, and then we gotta stop for gas. It's like every time we relocate, we gotta take the dogs out so they can get acclimated. So if you're moving every night, that's a lot of hours to do every day. At a minimum, I like to be somewhere for 2 nights, and that's still fast. A really nice place. Like, came and emptied the porta potty this morning. Well, that's really handy to have. If you know, you know. I thought there were trash cans here, but they're actually like rain collection barrels, and there is a sign that says, I forget what it said. Take it in, take it out. Pack it in, pack it out. So there's no trash, and that's fine with me. I'm used to dragging my trash all over the place. It was beautifully dreary last night. Rain, it's just really nice. And right now I'm like sitting on a swing under cover. It's drizzling. This is a good one, good spot. There's something big out in the water. Heard something just jump in, and now I heard him splash right there. One last moment of appreciation for this beautiful river and lovely place to call home for the night. I think that's it for this one. I really appreciate you watching. Please consider subscribing, and I will see you in the next one. I think we figured out our next steps. We're gonna finish up lunch, hit the grocery store because we are bottom of the barrel food. That's why it's cereal for lunch. And we found some free camping in a state forest that's not too far from here. So we're gonna relocate. I think there's a lake. I don't know if we'll be on the lake, but there is a lake. We'll play it by ear.